Hey guys, this is Shirinkai, and one of the things I've been into for the longest time is collecting models. I went through a stage where I tried to build them, and I just kind of suck at it. So every once in a rare while, I'll end up buying some models that I think are really cool. And last year, I actually noticed this one collection by a company called Italeri, and these are pre-built models. They advertise them as diecast, but I'll get into that in a little bit. Anyways, I decided to take them home, and I really like what I see. So yeah, these models are all going to be in a very unusual 1 by 100 scale. I actually really like this scale because 1 by 72, especially on modern aircraft, is pretty big, and 1 by 48 is just monstrous. So I think here you can actually get a normal shelving unit, fit enough planes on the shelf, and I think it's just big enough for the model maker to still capture a lot of detail. So with that being said, let's start off with the F-22 Raptor. Now, this one is by far my favorite modern aircraft. Maybe it's my patriotism coming into play here, but this aircraft, the paint scheme, is going to be done from the 49th Holloman Air Force Base Squadron in New Mexico, and I think this model looks absolutely fantastic. One of the cool things about this product line is they only cost about $11.99. That's their MSRP. In fact, sometimes they're going to sale for only $8.99. So I think what you get for the money here is absolutely fantastic. Now, here's the thing, though. They do advertise themselves as a die-cast model, and I think some of them are a lot more plastic than they are die-cast. But the F-22 in particular actually has pretty good heft to it. The main body here is actually going to be die-cast. Just the wings and the tail and so on and so forth are going to be more plastic. But nonetheless, I think this is a great looking model. It looks very to scale. Everything seems very proportionate. I'm very lucky enough to live in an area to where F-22s fly overhead all the time. So I'd say that, yeah, this thing definitely looks fantastic. They decided to put the external fuel tanks on here. Obviously not the best thing for a stealth aircraft, but pretty necessary if you're trying to go to a long destination. Anyways, this is their take on the F-22, and I absolutely love it. I was kind of worried that workmanship issues would come into play here. I mean, it's 11 freaking 99. That's nothing, and I think everything looks good. I mean, yeah, one could argue that the tail, sorry, right here could be glued down a little closer to the body or the airframe, but you know what? For this price, I can't complain. But yeah, to me, this is just an absolutely fantastic model. I love the paint job. For $12, come on. It's absolutely fantastic. Next up, we're going to have the Swedish Gripen. So I really like the fact that they have this aircraft just because it's a really cool plane, and I've been to Sweden multiple times. Love the country. And even though I've never gotten to see one of these fly around in person, it's a really cool looking aircraft. And I think, once again, they did a fantastic job with this one. This one's actually done in their anniversary, 60-year anniversary paint scheme. This is from 1944 to 2004. So, yeah, pretty cool. And this guy's actually coming off his base stand a little bit. But, yeah, this model looks fantastic. They did a great job with the missiles. In fact, let me turn the aircraft over a bit. Unfortunately, I'm not too familiar with the weapons that Sweden employs with their aircraft. I'm a little bit ignorant in that regard, but nonetheless, just from a model standpoint, it's awesome. And I actually had no idea the Gripen was just this tiny. I mean, this is a really small aircraft, like F-16, even slightly smaller than F-16. So pretty cool stuff. Push that to the side here. I'm probably going to run out of room. Next up, we have the Eurofighter. And this is going to be in the United Kingdom's scheme. Anyways, this plane is also done very well, in my opinion. The Eurofighter almost needs no introduction. There's a lot of people that love this aircraft, and one can argue it's one of the best fourth, or I guess 4.5 generation fighter aircraft currently serving right now. It's just super high performance, super maneuverable, and apparently super easy to pilot aircraft. Here we can see the underside. I'm not going to take them off the base stand just because I don't want to fumble around with things and whatnot on camera. But here we can kind of see the underside. And yeah, looks fantastic. This one has kind of like the F-22, a die-cast main part of the body here with plastic wings and plastic accessories elsewhere. So they are pretty fragile, and that's one thing that needs to definitely be mentioned. These are more models and not toys. If you give it to a little kid, or even maybe a not so little kid, somebody who likes to actively play with stuff, there's a good chance a simple oops will result in a broken piece. So that needs to be said. Next up is going to be another favorite. This is going to be the Raphael. And, oh man, looks absolutely fantastic. Let's see if I can't get her a little closer to camera. There we go. I love the paint job on it. Again, I think their paint jobs are just super spot on. Very, very accurate. And once again, the proportions seem super, super duper accurate as well. I don't see noses or anything like that or canards that are overdone. I think they really, especially for the money, just got it down perfect. Now, obviously, as we can see here, yeah, could the wings be closer to the body and could things be a little more fluid? Yeah, absolutely. But again, for the money, what you gonna do? Yeah, sexy looking plane. So that is gonna be the Raphael. Yeah, I am kind of running out of room here. Next up, it's gonna be the F-18 Super Hornet, which is substantially larger than most of the planes on that I've shown you so far, short of the F-22. This is actually going to be the Growler paint scheme, which is going to be more the electronic warfare version of the F-18 Super Hornet. This Super Hornet, I think, looks absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure if they got the airframe perfectly right. I don't know. Something seems just slightly off to me, but I can't put my finger on what it might be. Nonetheless, I think the paint job is absolutely fantastic. Everything about this plane I just absolutely love. I got to admit, I'm really surprised by how large it is compared to everything else. But the F-18 is certainly one of the more versatile aircraft around today. It can do just about anything. And it's kind of like a jack of all trades. You might be able to find a plane who can outturn it and outdo this and outdo that, but this thing can do pretty much anything that you need it to do. So I think that's why it's still kept around in service. And lastly, we have the F-15 Strike Eagle. Plane that almost needs no introduction. In fact, is still regarded as one of the best modern fighters around. Obviously, people are going to debate how these aircraft stack up to each other almost endlessly. But nonetheless, the focus here is more on the models. And once again, another paint scheme that I think looks fantastic. I think they did a great job of capturing all the fine details here. I'm not sure if my camera's going to show that off. But yeah, I think they did a fantastic job with this aircraft as well. We go to underside, and you should see that this F-15 is loaded to bear, as most of them are. They typically do the dual platform thing and do it quite well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out the camera a little bit and see if I can't give you guys an idea of what these all look like next to each other. There's going to be our big F-18. Let's see, who would go next up? You know what, just for giggles. There is the Gripen. Tiny, tiny little aircraft. Here's going to be our F-22. Here's going to be our Eurofighter. And lastly, here's going to be, looks like I'm going to have to raise the camera up a bit, our Raphael. So here, tripod's actually kind of getting caught on things. So here is essentially going to be part of my collection. I'd love to complete this collection, actually. It's a great product line. The price is great, but I just don't have a lot of room anymore to display things. But yeah, this is highly, highly recommended to anybody who's an enthusiast of modern-day aircraft. For $12, 1/100 scale. You can't go wrong. They're just amazing. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.